$1,507 a month, $18,000 a year for life. That is the absolute maximum CPP will pay a Canadian who retires at 65 in 2026. But the average new retiree this year gets just $925 a month, the exact figure Service Canada published for new 65-year-old recipients. One single rule decides which of those two numbers ends up on your check, and most retirees fail that rule without ever realizing it. Stay with me until number 6, because number 6 is the one almost everyone gets completely backwards. Here is the rule in one sentence. To collect the maximum CPP, you must contribute the maximum amount for at least 39 years, 39 of the 47 years between age 18 and 65. Miss that target, and the size of your check is already decided before you ever apply. The gap between the two numbers is not small. 1,507 versus 925 is $582 a month, just under $7,000 a year, and over a 30-year retirement that difference compounds past $200,000. So here are the 6 ways Canadian retirees fail this one rule, and exactly what to do about each one. Number 1, and this is the biggest one, which is why I'm starting with it. You earned a good living, but you never once hit the ceiling. In 2026, that ceiling, the year's maximum pensionable earnings, is $74,600. A year only counts as a maximum year if your income reaches or beats that number. Here's the trap. Most Canadians earn under it. Say you made $60,000 a year for your whole career. A solid, respectable income. You were only contributing on about 80% of the ceiling, so every single working year banks you roughly 80% of a maximum year, not a full one. On that $60,000 salary, your 2026 CPP contribution is about $3,300, against the roughly $4,100 a maximum earner pays. And that missing $800 a year of contributions is exactly what quietly shrinks the check. Do that for 40 years and you don't land at $1,507. You land closer to $1,200 a month. That's roughly $3,700 a year you assumed was coming, and never will. Take a nurse who earned $55,000 for 35 years, never unemployed, never idle, and retired. Sure, she'd earn the top check. She collects about $1,140 a month because not one of her 35 years crossed the ceiling. People assume a full-time career automatically means full CPP. It does not. The system rewards the ceiling, not the effort. What to do this week? Log into My Service Canada account. Open your statement of contributions and look for the years flagged with an M for maximum. Those are the only years pulling you toward 1,507. Number 2, the 0 years quietly dragging your average down. CPP is built on your lifetime earnings, and every year you earned nothing enters the formula as a 0. The government does give you a break here. The general dropout provision automatically removes your 8 lowest earning years. That's the 17% dropout. But it only removes 8. A 2-year layoff, 3 years of illness, 4 years caring for a spouse, an early exit from work at 58. Add those up and you sail right past the 8-year cushion. Every extra gap year after that stays in the math and shrinks your check. A single 0 year left in the average trims a full earner by roughly $12 a month. Picture a welder who contributed the maximum for 32 strong years but stopped working at 57 after a back injury. Those final 8 0 years eat the entire dropout, and the remaining zeros from 57 to 65 stay in the average, costing him close to $200 a month for the rest of his life, nearly $48,000 over a 20-year retirement. What to do? If you're close to the maximum and you're staring at gap years, even part-time work that reaches the ceiling in your final earning years can override a 0 and lift your average. One extra maximum year late in the game can be worth more than 5 average ones. A single year at the ceiling can add $15 to $20 a month permanently, where a half-ceiling year barely moves the needle. Number 3, you simply don't have 39 years to give. This one hits newcomers to Canada, people who studied deep into their 20s, and anyone who spent years working abroad. If you arrived at 40 and only ever built 25 contributory years, 39 maximum years is not difficult. It's mathematically impossible. 25 perfect years still leaves 14 zeros the dropout can't fully erase, capping you somewhere near $1,000 no matter how high you earn. The ceiling never enters the conversation because the years aren't there. Consider an engineer who immigrated at 42, earned $90,000 a year until 65, maxed out every one of those 23 years, and still lands around $980 a month because the missing early years drag the lifetime average down. Even reaching 70, deferral only lifts him near $1,400, never the full max. What to do? Check whether Canada has a social security agreement with the country you worked in. There are more than 60 of them, covering countries like the US, the UK, India, and the Philippines, and they can let foreign years count toward your eligibility. The US agreement alone has been in force since 1984. And if you're healthy and still working, contributing past 65 adds a post-retirement benefit on top of your pension, worth up to roughly $50 a month for each extra maximum year, 1 year at a time. And remember, number 6 is the one that flips everything you think you know about reaching this maximum, so keep it in mind. Number 4. The child-rearing dropout you never claimed. This one costs mothers the most, and here's why it's so cruel. Unlike the general dropout, it is not automatic. Service Canada will not apply it for you. You have to claim the child-rearing provision on your application. It removes the low-earning or zero-earning years you spent raising a child under the age of 7, so those years don't drag down your lifetime average. Take a mother who stepped back from work for 5 years to raise 2 kids born in 2001 and 2003. Without the form, those 5 near-zero years stay in the average and knock about $120 off her monthly check, permanently, which over a 25-year retirement is more than $36,000 left on the table. Filed correctly at application, that same provision is worth roughly $1,400 a year back in her pocket. With the form, those 5 years vanish from the calculation and her check jumps back up. The typical mistake is assuming the system knows about your kids from your tax records and adjusts on its own. It doesn't. What to do? If you have children born after 1958, and you took time off to raise them, claim the child-rearing provision when you apply, and have their birth certificates and SINs ready. And if you already started your CPP and forgot it, contact Service Canada. In many cases, you can still request a review and have it applied retroactively. Number 5. You took it at 60 and locked yourself out. Starting CPP at the earliest possible age, 60, triggers a permanent cut of 0.6% for every month before 65. 5 years is 60 months, so that's a 36% reduction that never heals. Not when you turn 65, not ever. So even a flawless earner who contributed the maximum for 39 straight years, a person who did everything right, collects roughly $965 a month instead of $1,507, purely because they claimed 5 years early. That's $542 a month gone, about $6,500 a year, every year for the rest of their life. Picture a man who retired at 60 because a coworker told him, "Take it before it's gone." He surrendered a third of a check he'd spent 4 decades earning right at the door, and by age 80, he'll have handed back well over $100,000. What to do? If you can bridge the gap with savings, a workplace pension, or part-time income, every single month you wait past 60 adds that 0.6% back. Waiting even from 60 to 61 restores 7.2%, about $70 a month on a full check. Waiting even 2 years from 60 to 62 restores 14.4%, the difference between a shrunken check and a nearly full one. Number 6. The lever almost nobody pulls, and the one people get completely backwards. Here's the hard truth. You cannot rebuild a 39-year contribution record in your 60s. That ship has sailed. But you can still beat the maximum entirely. Every month you delay CPP past 65 adds 0.7%, up to a 42% increase at age 70. That turns a $1,500 maximum into about $2,140 a month. For life, indexed to inflation, which is nearly $7,600 more per year than taking it at 65, and over a 20-year retirement, more than $150,000 in extra income. Now here's the backwards part. Most people do the exact opposite. Fewer than 1 in 10 Canadians waits until 70. The crowd rushes to grab CPP at 60 because they're afraid of leaving money on the table. And in doing so, they permanently lock in that 36% cut, the single worst move available. Take two brothers who each earned the same. One claims at 60 and gets $965. The other waits to 70 and gets $2140. The same work history, more than double the check, a gap of over $14,000 every single year. For the vast majority of Canadians who will never have a perfect contribution record, deferral is the only realistic path left to 1507 or beyond. It's the highest guaranteed return in Canadian retirement, an ironclad 8.4% a year, and it's sitting there unused. What to do? If you have other income to live on, delaying is almost always the smarter play. You're not gambling. You're buying a bigger inflation-protected check for the rest of your life. So here's the one rule again, plain and simple. The maximum belongs to people who either hit the ceiling for 39 years or who defer long enough to make up the difference. Your one action this week is this. Log into My Service Canada account, open your CPP statement of contributions, and count the years marked with an M. That single number tells you exactly where your check will land. If this helped you understand your own retirement, subscribe and share it with someone over 60 in your life, because most of them will never find this out in time.